Hi everybody, it's Mr. Tom. I'm going to introduce to you our summer chapter book. Originally, we were going to do a book called The Comeback Dog, but you know what? It has sort of a sad part in it where the dog runs away, and Mr. Tom's family just went through a dog loss. We have had a 10-year-old golden retriever, Chloe, who was near and dear to our family that just got cancer and passed away back in March. So, I don't want to read a sad book about a dog, even though it has a happy ending. So, the book we're going to do, our chapter book for this summer, is called Penguin Puzzle, and it's a Magic School Bus series. So, I think there's some videos that we can watch on Magic School Bus that have some of the same stories or the same story in here on this chapter book. And it's about penguins, which I thought, you know what, it's been so hot that maybe we can talk about the cold and cool things where penguins live to cool us off, because man, it's been really hot. Okay, so our chapter book is called Penguin Puzzle. And let's get started. I'll show you some of the pictures, okay? But there's not a whole lot of pictures because it's a chapter book. Hi, my name is Phoebe. I am one of the kids in Miss Frizzle's class. And if you've ever seen Magic School Bus, you know Miss Frizzle is the teacher, okay? And she does some really fun activities with her class, but some of them are magic. So let's find out. Maybe you've heard of Mrs. Frizzle. Sometimes we just call her the Frizz. She is a terrific teacher, but a little strange. In fact, things can get really strange in her class. Science is one of Miss Frizzle's favorite subjects. She knows everything about it. We go on lots of field trips in the Magic School Bus. Believe me, it's not called the Magic School Bus for nothing. Once we get on board, anything can happen. There's a picture of Miss Frizzle over here. Miss Frizzle likes to surprise us, but we can usually tell when she's planning a special lesson. We just look at what she's wearing. One day, the Frizz came into class wearing a dress we'd never seen before. That was our first clue. We knew a big trip was on the way, but who would have guessed we'd end up where we did? Even Miss Frizzle was surprised. Let me tell you what happened when the Magic School Bus went to the bottom of the world. Okay, that's the intro and chapter 1. So we're going to figure out what happened. I ran into Miss Frizzle's classroom in a big rush. I didn't want to be late. Phoebe, watch out, Carlos yelled at me. I froze in my footsteps. Then I looked up. A big paper eagle was dangling right over my head. Yikes, I screamed. Carlos, who had made the eagle, was holding on to it by a string. He was trying to hang it from the ceiling, but the eagle was bouncing up and down. It looked as if it was going to pounce on me. Wow, Carlos, that's some bird. There's a picture of Carlos holding the eagle bird he made, and he's trying to hang it from the ceiling. Carlos, it's giving me the eagle eye. It's a bald eagle, Carlos said proudly. It used to be endangered, but now we're in danger, Dorothy Ann said, joking about the size of Carlos's project. Oh, you're just jealous, Carlos said. My eagle is 10 times bigger than your robin that you made. I'm not jealous, she said. Just think of all the birds we are studying. They're all amazing. Just then, Miss Frizzle came rushing into the room. She ducked in time to miss Carlos's eagle that was hanging. Its claws just grazed the top of her curly red hair. Good morning, class, Miss Frizzle said. I see you all have your bird projects here now. Before you deliver your reports, let's go on a little field trip. Uh-oh, Arnold said. I think I should have stayed home today. Every pair of eyes in the room stared at Miss Frizzle's dress. We had never seen this dress before. It was mostly blue, sky blue, with birds all over it. Miss Frizzle, Carlos said, that dress is for the birds. We all groaned. We thought Carlos's jokes were for the birds. Where are we going? We're going bird watching, Miss Frizzle said. Not just yet, the Frizz said. First, I want you to meet someone. I started to wiggle with excitement. This was what I had been waiting for. Phoebe, Miss Frizzle, would you bring in our guest? I ran to the door where my Uncle Cecil Bird was waiting. He's a little shy like me. I grabbed hold of his arm and pulled him inside the room. Everyone, I said proudly, this is my Uncle Cecil. Until Cecil stood in front of the class, Uncle Cecil stood in front of the class beside me. He had his bird-watching binoculars around his neck. With his long legs and pointy nose, I guess he looked a little like a stork. Good day, mates, Uncle Cecil said. Call me Cecil. Uncle Cecil is from Australia. He was a neat guy. Good day, Cecil, said the kids back with a few giggles. We're going to do a project on birds, Miss Frizzle explained. And there's Uncle Cecil. He's the expert on birds, and you can see his binoculars. Okay. Righto, Uncle Cecil said. Who can tell me what a bird is? Dorothy Ann jumped up before anyone else had a chance. According to my research, she said, all birds have these characteristics. Birds are animals that have feathers, lay eggs in nests, and keep their eggs warm until the young birds hatch. Birds are warm-blooded, and most birds fly, but not all. You're no bird brain, Uncle Cecil said to DEA with a wink. That was an excellent report. We're studying birds from all around the world, Ralphie said. Okay, and that's characteristics of birds right there. Uncle Cecil is an ornithologist. That's a big word, isn't it? I explained that's someone who studies birds. My favorite bird is the penguin, Uncle Cecil said. I've been to Antarctica twice to see them and study them. Not to be confused with the Arctic. That's in the north, and no penguins live there. Cool, Carlo said. Cold, actually, Uncle Cecil corrected him. Really cold. How can birds survive in such a cold place, Wanda asked. Do they wear snowsuits? Everyone chuckled. It may look as if penguins are wearing suits, Uncle Cecil said, but those are really feathers. A penguin's feathers can keep out freezing cold and wind that could turn humans into icicles. We aren't going to Antarctica, we're going... Are we, Miss Frizzle? Arnold asked. No, Arnold, we're just going to a bird sanctuary, said Miss Frizzle. Since the weather is turning cold, a lot of birds are migrating. It's a great time to watch for birds. Miss Frizzle pulled out a pair of binoculars from a box on her desk. Look, I have a pair of binoculars for each of you. They're great for nature watching. We each took a pair of binoculars and hung them around our necks. And, whoops, Mr. Tom has a pair of binoculars because we watch birds at our house. In fact, I think we might have to do some of that in another video, some of the birds that come to our bird feeder. In fact, I have 4 bird feeders at my house, and we attract a lot of birds. Okay, back to the story. So everyone got a pair of binoculars and hung them around their neck. Then they grabbed their coats and backpack, and Miss Frizzle told us to bundle up. And she grabbed Liz and headed us for the bus. I noticed that Uncle Cecil was still carrying his briefcase. He takes it everywhere with him. I checked out the sign on it. It read, "Keep out, this means you." Uncle Cecil, I asked, what is in there? It's top secret, Cecil whispered. Top secret? You mean we can't even tell me? Not now, Cecil said. Maybe later. We piled inside the magic school bus. Little did we know what would happen next. Okay, there's the briefcase. And you can see that it says, "Keep out." That's Uncle Cecil's secret briefcase. Okay? And that is the end of chapter 1. Next time we'll be in chapter 2. So I hope you're interested in finding out what happens on their trip to study birds. So it should be fun. And that's the end of chapter 1. And I'll have some questions for you to see if you are listening, okay? So I'll make up some questions for one of our Zoom meetings. We can talk about our chapter book, Penguin Puzzle, okay? And my local library just opened up So maybe if you can get to a library, you can look for the book and you can read along as we read it. Okay? Really cool. I'll save the rest for later. Bye.